It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we'll play host to a battle between conferences. It's the Indianapolis Colts and the New York Giants on Monday Night Prime Time.
We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said, the key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
First play, and Wilson wants to throw it. Open target here, Darius Slayton. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll make it second down.
And their coach told us the other day that they wanted to get him in a nice groove right out of the gate. And one way to do that, give him quick throws where he can get the ball out of his hand in a hurry, as he did there.
From the 31, here's second down and 3. From the gun, it's Wilson. Once again, he finds Slayton. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a second consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
Now Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Second and 10. They'll run here with a rookie. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here is 3rd and 5. Wilson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Giants first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. So opening drive, 3rd down. They complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps upfield, break towards the middle, the ball should be there, and then they can do some work afterwards.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down. Those are the types of run, Charles, that they say this first-year running back can provide a lot more of in the future.
He made it look easy, didn't he? Picking up that first down. Some have described him as a diamond in the rough with a lot of polish, nice little buffing. This guy could be one of the top backs going forward.
He'll get that to his tight end, Theo Johnson. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard.
Tracy trying the right side.
And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
He gets this one to Johnson. And they'll get this down to the 10. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical. They've been crisp. And as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Straight ahead, here's Tracy.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Right back to Tracy.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line.
And now a stoppage, and looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's 3rd and goal. Now it's Wilson. This is caught. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown.
Daniel Bellinger.
A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Giants' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Many would call that a gutsy decision here early on to go for it 4th and goal. There was no hesitation. Field goal unit never sniffed the field.
It was a message, and the message was, I trust you on offense. Go out and make this happen. Go ahead and pick it up. You know what else he said? I trust my defense as well. If they don't get it, I know you're going to hold them. So it's a message to your entire team that you believe in them.
Extra point try good by Gano. And that makes the score 7-0. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told.
And it was finished off with a touchdown by Daniel Bellinger.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
So now the Colts will get their first opportunity with the football. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Now Richardson back to throw it. Got his man. It's Warren.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd and 4. On the option left, Richardson.
That one will go for 9 yards and a first down on the keeper.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
2nd down and a yard. And he's going to use his legs here. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the first down.
And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield.
See the athleticism there of Brian Burns. Stopping him behind the line. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Dexter Lawrence. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Now, that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Now Richardson. That's caught. It's Josh Downs.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 23. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Here's Richardson to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Pierce.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They run once more with Taylor.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now it's Richardson. They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
Boy, that one was well read defensively, and this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
And his kick is right there. It's good.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive.
For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do. So I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down. A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
On the give, it's Tracy. He'll take it past the 40 to the 41, 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a 2nd player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
Here's Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the 1st down. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive.
And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here's 2nd and 3.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Richardson looking to throw this. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 37. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
That's complete to Pierce.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Richardson looking to throw.
Incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Again, it's Richardson. Now, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game. But after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So no problems at all on that one. And you know there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. And New York set to take the field. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. A good first down call as the screen play gets him 9.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Here's 2nd and 10.
There's Wilson to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
Now it's Wilson.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Throwing again here, Wilson.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He gets it left side to Johnson. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 12-yard line. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Gano's kick is good, and they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
And not not wanting to risk anything here late in the half. He'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. He'll get this one complete there to Pittman. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And, you know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd and 3. Richardson.
He finds his man, complete. It's Warren. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Running straight ahead, Taylor. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
That play was all Bobby Okereke as he got there and dragged him down for the loss.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on.
That one finds Pierce right side. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
That is caught.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a first.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
And this taken in by Downs.
So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Here Richardson yet again.
And he's got Pierce. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point, And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Now Richardson back to throw it.
Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And this one is right through. And that gets them back within a single point. It's now 10-9.
So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Giants offense and Russell Wilson headed back onto the field. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
There's a short one caught by Johnson.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd and 5.
Now it's Wilson.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
Following the interception, they're set up nicely here, already inside the red zone, knocking on the door, if you will, 1st and 10. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
They'll start by running the option to the right and trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
He's got his man. It's Pierce.
Just a gain of a couple there. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that could be one of those turning point plays in a ball game. A field goal gets you the lead here, but they want to make a statement and get 6 points. And they're certainly going to get that opportunity as they get the conversion and set up 1st and goal.
Now Richardson.
To the right side, complete to Taylor. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
On 2nd and goal, here's the option.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Anthony Richardson.
Keeping it himself from 5 yards out.
And the Colts have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter.
Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown.
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked off by Bobby Okereke.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
And New York set to take the field.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly, and you definitely don't want to throw it too late, and that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
To throw is Wilson. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Wilson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
2nd down, another run with Taylor.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Here comes 3rd down and 7. Here's Richardson to throw.
And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now here at MetLife Stadium as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the 4th quarter. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10.
New York's offense back out there and set to go. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Motioning to the left is Robinson.
Now Wilson.
That's complete. It's Neighbors.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards, the final tally.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Here's a 2nd and 5. They'll hand it to Tracy.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Wilson. Past the 20. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Like my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Now And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on second and goal?
Now it's Tracy.
They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. So now things get interesting on third and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead and do it. Who wants it more here? Who has a better leverage at the line of scrimmage? Let's go and see.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out.
And the Giants have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter.
And this is a time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with a touchdown run to take the lead.
A big play looming for the Giants as they'll go for 2. Wilson going to throw for it. And no, incomplete. They can't convert. So they tried to bump the lead up to a field goal. Instead, it stays at 1 here in the fourth. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. And the Colts now, they're ready to get the football back. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Now it's Richardson. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Pittman.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
An excellent run of 22 yards on the keeper and also a first down.
It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Giants will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different colored jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
And New York set to take the field.
Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. They'll start with a run by Tracy. And he'll get a few yards here to the 34.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the four fingers. Fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the four fingers for 4 minutes and establish themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there.
And they get the guard, John Runyon.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
They'll go again with Tracy.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Steps away. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game.
So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life.
Here's Jamie Gillen now
as he's on to punt for New York. Fielded at about the 28. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
The Colts offense and Anthony Richardson ready for this next possession. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. This is 1st and 10. Richardson.
Eluding the pressure right.
Could this be the drive that ultimately wins the game? How about the initiative he just took there? Running with it after he couldn't find a throwing lane, and he drove them into range for a game-winning field goal with that play. What an opportunity they've been presented to come through with the win.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
Over the middle, complete. That's Warren. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Here's 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Taylor.
Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Here comes 2nd down. Again, it's Taylor.
And this time he won't even make it back to the line of scrimmage as they stop him in his tracks. The Giants going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's 3rd and long. Richardson to throw it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 14.
Nice, well coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
All 3 timeouts still at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10 now. Here's Richardson.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. Here's 2nd down. From the gun, it's Taylor.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
Hang on a second here, because on that last play, it appears one of the Giants shaken up.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
Well, the crowd here at MetLife Stadium in full roar. 3rd down. They give to Taylor out of the gun.
No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down.
Got a quick flash about being in their huddle. Whatever the play call was, it was tagged with these words: make sure you stay in the middle of the field. That's where we want to be.
And he did just that. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to almost certainly win the football game. And his kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. So there was a little meat on that bone, a little more than a chip shot considering the circumstances, but he's able to bang it home in what should be the game winner.
And the key was getting him into a good position to kick from. I mean, if that's a 52-yarder, you're going to have some anxious moments, but kickers nowadays, you give them anything under 40, and they're automatic.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And with time of factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Throwing now is Wilson.
That's to the sideline and incomplete. They'll come up now on 2nd down.
One last shot for Wilson. He's going to let it fly. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory.
That was a long shot, but they did get one final chance to try to score and overcome this small deficit. No touchdown, though, Charles, and that brings this one to a close.
Yeah, I think hope was wearing one jersey and worry was wearing another on the other sideline as that final snap played out. Now, we've seen some incredible plays to win games before, but in this case, I think the distance was just a little bit too great for it to happen here.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From MetLife Stadium, good night, everybody.